Speaker number 8, Jared Fort. More is caught than taught. More is caught than taught, Jared Fort.
More is caught than taught. A dear mentor of mine would often make that statement. Thank you, Mr. Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. More is caught than taught. I'm very fortunate and blessed to have a great father. We have a wonderful relationship, and I consider him a friend. I have learned and continue to learn a lot from my father. I caught integrity from my father. I moved to Lexington, Kentucky from Gary, Indiana in 2007 for my job. My parents' 40-year-old garage fell into great disrepair for a number of reasons. During my first trip home in 2007, I helped my father clean out the garage. They had hired a contractor to build a brand new one. My parents didn't have all the money up front, so they worked out a payment plan with the contractor. And if you're like me, and someone owes you money, at some point you start thinking, show me the money. He did a great job, so much so, my parents asked for an estimate for the upstairs and the downstairs bathrooms. My mom, who loves to keep an attractive house, was ashamed of them. They were still paying for the garage, so he worked out an additional payment plan, and he completed that work. When my father brought the final payment to him, he made this comment. I've never had a client I did not have to chase after for payment. You said you're going to pay me on this day, and you came to pay me. If you ever have a need for any more work to be done, let me know, and I work out whatever payment plan you need. I call integrity from my father. I call never stop learning from my father. On September 16, 2012, my father turned 69 years old. He retired from the U.S. Postal Service in 2004 with 40 years including military time. He is now in his 9th year as a tax preparer for H&R Block. As many of us are acutely aware, our tax laws are constantly evolving. Classes and testing is par for the course as you begin to approach the new tax season. Last year, in addition to the norm, was a required test to take to become a certified tax preparer. My father studied for months, but he passed that test. This past tax season, he completed over 200 tax returns, and yes, mine was included. I call never stop learning from my father. I call that real love is demonstrable from my father. What does that mean? If you say you love someone, there should be some corresponding action behind what you say. I attended Ball State University in Muncie, Indiana for my undergraduate degree. I was home in 1995 for a visit. It was a Sunday morning and I'm preparing to go back to school. I'm in the bathroom getting ready. My mom, my dad, and my sister are getting ready for church. I'm getting ready and I leave my wallet in the bathroom. My sister sees it, thinks it's my dad's, and put it on the chest of drawers. I grab my gear, load my car, and hit the road. There's a spot on I-65 at State Road 26 in Lafayette, Indiana, where we would stop to rest and refuel. I was a young driver. 3.5 hours was long for me, and I was the halfway point. It was there that I realized I didn't have my wallet. No wallet means no driver's license and about an hour and 45 minutes worth of driving in either direction. No wallet means I have no money. No wallet means no credit cards, no debit card, and no school ID. Now, even in the 90s, your school ID was used for everything. It took care of food, it bought you supplies, it gave you access to certain locations, including the Swinford Resident Hall where I live. All I had was the key to my room. Now, my parents are at church, so I can't call them, so I make the decision that I'm gonna keep driving. Very carefully, mind you. Trying to figure out what in the world am I going to do. Well, I made it to Muncie, Indiana, safe and sound. grab all my gear, and I had to run in the door, again, because I don't have my school ID. I go into my room, unlock the door, put my stuff down, and just, man. And then all of a sudden I hear, I open the door, it was my dad. My dad drove 3.5 hours to bring me my wallet. He said, I didn't want you to be without it. He gave it to me, gave me a hug, said goodbye, and drove 3.5 hours back home. I caught the real love as demonstrable from my father. Today, in my moments before you, I have been casting. Just like you and so many of us around do. There are so many opportunities in life to cast and to impart. And the words of Peter Parker, the amazing Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. And thinking about what I shared with you about my father, think about this yourself. Looking at your friends, your family, your mentors, your proteges, your co-workers, the people around you, how are you influencing them? What are you imparting to them? And think about it the other way. The people around you, how are they influencing you? Whose experience is your greatest teacher? My father, my fellow Toastmasters, so many people around me constantly remind me of this principle that I shared with you today. I hope that you remember it. More is caught than taught. Mr. Contest Chair.